Yo, what's up guys? Sean Kober here of the Live, Train, Perform podcast. Over the next 2 weeks, while I launch this podcast, I'm going to be dropping 1 episode per day. Then I'm going to drop back to 1 episode per week. The first episode is an introductory episode explaining who I am, my background, my knowledge, my experience. The second episode is all about goal setting. That's going to be followed up by progress tracking, then building habits, doing the things that you enjoy doing, consistency, restricting temptation, meal preparation, accountability, crap foods, getting started and building momentum, along with hierarchy of value, motivation, direction, and your environment. Now, if you go back and listen to each one of those topics again, they are all relevant for optimizing your performance and your everyday life. It's not just to do with health and fitness. Yes, I am a strength and conditioning coach. That is my background, that is my specialization. However, I'm a coach first and foremost, and I need to optimize the other 23 hours of the day so that I can get the most out of my clients for that 1 hour that I'm with them. I will also be answering some of my followers' questions that have posted questions on my Q&A memes, and I'm going to incorporate those answers into the pertinent episodes.
Welcome to part 3 of the progress tracking tools. In the last episode, we spoke about objective tracking tools. In today's episode, it's all about subjective tracking views. So point to note with these ones is you need to be in tune with your body. If you have no awareness to, how certain foods affect you, how your sleep affects you, how training affects you, your ability to recover, etc., then you might not take as much out of these, but this is essentially the goal. The objective tracking tools give us tangible numbers and data that we can work with to let us know if we're moving in the right direction or not. At some point, you want to pay attention and you want to feel your body. Okay, this is where intuitive eating comes into play. This is where intuitive training comes into play. And this is my goal with my clients, is to use those numbers to get to a point where we can then start using our subjective tracking. All right, so our subjective tracking that we're going to be covering today are energy levels, productivity, sleep habits, libido, mood, attitude, and mental well-being, hair, skin, and nails, and the immune system. Alrighty, let's get started. First up, we're talking about energy levels. So everyone has high and low energy cycles throughout the day. This may be associated with sleep patterns, exercise, or eating habits, but knowing when you have more energy is extremely beneficial. So set a timer for every hour throughout the day and write down or mark off where your energy level is on a scale of 1 to 10. This will help you determine if you're a morning person or do you prefer to pick up steam after lunch. Keeping track of where your energy levels are lets you better plan your day, as well as give an indication of how to optimize your life through adjusting food, exercise, and sleep patterns. So this comes into play with our circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is basically how our body regulates our hormones and our neurotransmitters throughout the day to provide us with certain hormones and certain energy requirements and recovery ability and things like that. So paying attention to this can really help you optimize your life, essentially. Finding your peak creativity level is a great way to find the best time to do things that require your fullest attention. Creative blocks and mind blanks can often be a symptom of working at a time when your creativity and energy levels are low. Using the same method as tracking your energy levels, begin to track when you feel most creative and when you don't. This may be a little bit more difficult to determine than energy levels, but over the course of a few days, you'll start to see patterns develop. I, for one, know that my energy levels and my creativity levels are best first thing in the morning. Once I get out of bed and I go through my morning routine, that's when I know I'm going to get the majority of my work done. So then I start prioritizing the important things for first thing in the morning when I know I'm creative and I've got that energy, right? So then I'm going to block out times in my day where I'm going to do the less energy demanding things when I'm feeling tired, when I know, I'm typically going to have some sort of a crash in the afternoon. Maybe it's after lunch or something like that. That's when I'm going to go, right, this is where I'm going to answer emails and things like that, because I know that my energy levels are a little bit lower. I'm going to choose jobs and do tasks that don't require as much focus or as much energy. The next one is social levels. One area that's not usually associated with cycles is what I call social levels. When I feel like talking and being around people and when I don't. When I discuss this with clients, friends, and family, many have one of those aha moments and realize that they too have varying social levels during the day. I try to schedule calls, meetings, and any other tasks that requires me to interact with others during those times when my social levels are high. I find that it usually coincides with my high energy levels, so I need to prioritize between my high energy investment, cognitive function tasks, and interacting with others. And a simple way to do this is, again, I know that my energy levels are fairly high first thing in the morning, so I might work on different projects first thing in the morning. And I know that I'm probably going to work on one project for maybe an hour and a half, and then I'm going to start getting on my social media, and I'm going to start interacting with others for about 30 minutes, okay, before I give myself a little bit of a break. It may be totally psychological, but it works for me and for those I've recommended it to. My low energy times also become my quiet time, and I use it for processing emails, social media posts, and other less intensive and more boring and mundane tasks. All right, what to do with this? If you're lucky enough to be self-employed or at least self-directed, you can use your daily cycles to your advantage. Scheduling work and other tasks around times when you can best accomplish them makes for a more productive day. But even if you have less control of your own schedule, just simply knowing your cycles and paying attention can help you better manage your time. Most of us have been following a steady daily rhythm most of our lives, getting up somewhere between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning, working from 9 till 5, then spending the evenings at home. A similar pattern has been created to be the norm throughout our lives. In the education system, it is similar timings. Most business hours fit into that pattern also, at least in Western countries. We're expected to be alert, awake, and productive at certain times that society has created. The issue is that this does not necessarily fit in with our own circadian rhythm. Okay, this goes back to the previous point that I made about having a look at your daily energy levels. Okay, once we have observed our daily energy levels, we can plan our day around these fluctuations to optimize our productivity. We can break down work into 3 groups: high, medium, and low energy, all of which represent different demands for energy, focus, creativity, and alertness. High energy tasks are 8 to 10. This is where your most critical tasks of the day will usually fall. Depending on the type of work you do, this can mean meeting with clients, writing an article, or practicing your most skill-intensive training sessions. This is also when you have the most energy to solve complex issues and do anything that requires a lot of creative energy. I wouldn't recommend tackling demanding tasks during times of the day when energy tends to fall below 8, whilst I would definitely try to get all of them done during my peak energy times of the day. Again, in the morning for me, typically between 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. We only have so much of that peak time available during each day, no longer than 3 to 4 hours usually, often less, okay? Depending on the day, depending on how you've slept, how you're eating, how your movement is, etc. Okay, it's imperative that we're smart about utilizing our highest energy moments, because the last thing you want to do is undertake a challenging task when your energy is moderate or low. Not only will it take significantly more time to get the same kind of task done, but you'll also produce subpar results. It's also plain discouraging to be already past your peak time, have lower energy, and still have lots of high demanding energy sapping work to do. Okay, point to note here is once you've identified what your high energy times are, then it's important to remove distractions from those times, especially emails and non-verbal communication. If you're working on something in your high energy time, give yourself the time to fully immerse, focusing on that particular task. External inputs like emails, messages, and menial tasks will fight for your attention, but they can be easily answered in times of lower energy. Make the most important thing the most important thing. So what I'll do here is turn my phone off. Okay, I know that I'm going to be dedicating the next hour and a half to focusing on this high demand task. For me right now, it's all about podcast content creation. So this is where I'm turning my phone off, and I've got no notifications coming through. I've turned all my notifications off on my laptop, etc. So I'm literally just, head down, bum up, getting my work done. Once I've got through that hour and a half, then I might make some time to go through emails and social media and things like that. Our medium energy tasks are a 5 to 7. Now that the top priority tasks have been allocated to precious peak time, scheduling the rest of the day is much simpler. Most people have more average time at moderate energy levels than when they're at their highest levels, and even lowest levels the majority of the time. This is where a lot of tasks are going to end up, such as tasks that are communication related or tasks that require non-essential decisions like ordering products online, going through your inbox, social media posts, interactions with others, etc. we don't really want to do much work during our lowest energy level time. So it's important that we do what we need to do during these top 2 phases while we still have the liveliness. Then we have our low energy tasks, which are a 0 to 4. This by default is where all of the mundane and least important tasks should end up, such as entering data, surfing the internet, listening to podcasts, any other task that requires the least amount of cognitive function. It's a good habit to peg your leisure activities to times of low energy. Nothing is more counterproductive than spending your moments of peak energy checking Facebook or watching YouTube videos. But after you've put in your work and done the most important tasks of the day, then your low energy time is great for those passive activities like watching, reading, browsing, etc. And you can link, for example, listening to a podcast episode to going for a walk in the afternoon, or link those phone calls that you need to make, checking emails and things like that, to getting outside, getting some sunshine and going for a walk during those low energy periods. The next thing we'll talk about is working in 1 to 2 hour cycles. This is because of ultradian rhythms, which is a recurrent period or cycle repeated through a 24-hour circadian rhythm. The optimal time we can focus on work before taking a break is usually around 90 minutes. After that, we need to take a break and rejuvenate ourselves before we can get back to work and perform at our best again. Unfortunately, the only break that most people take during their 9 to 5 jobs is a lunch break. So to make the ultradian cycle work to your advantage, try this. For the first 90 minutes of your day, do nothing but focus on one specific task or project. After 90 minutes, take a break, have a snack, drink some water, make some tea, do some meditation, go for a walk, stretch, write in your journal, whatever. Then rinse and repeat. There it is. You've just set the rhythm for the rest of your workday. Then you just simply need to pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. And if your energy levels are still high in the afternoon, for example, then even if you had a low energy task scheduled in, you might just roll with that. You might be in a little bit of a flow state. Take advantage of that. And that's literally what I've done today. This is my 3rd podcast that I'm recording today. So I did have some other tasks ready to roll, but I was in a flow state and I'm enjoying putting this content together. So I thought I'd continue with the productivity and keep rolling through. Next up, we are discussing sleep. And if you've ever gone through a period of your life where you've had poor sleep, you will understand how important this is. I'm ex-army and I've literally slept in the dirt multiple times. I've had some of the shittiest nights sleep, and I know how much that has affected me. So for me, sleep is one of those things that I really prioritize. So this next component is all about healthy sleep habits. Sleep is critical for good health and well-being. However, due to our busy lifestyles, millions of us do not get enough sleep, a problem that can lead to lack of attention, irritability, digestive issues, poor judgment, and drowsiness during the day. Sleep deficiency has also been linked to more serious physical health issues, including diabetes, high blood pressure, immune deficiencies, increased risk of heart disease, depression, suicide, risk-taking behaviors, etc. Therefore, getting good, restful sleep can improve both physical and mental health, enhance our quality of life, and help us learn more efficiently, as well as enabling us to manage our daily energy levels and productivity. Your behaviors during the day, and especially before bedtime, can have a major impact on your sleep. They can help promote healthy sleep or contribute to sleeplessness. Your daily routines, what you eat and drink, the medications you take, how you schedule your days, and how you choose to spend your evenings can significantly impact your quality of sleep. Even a few slight adjustments can, in some cases, mean the difference between sound sleep and a restless night. Completing a 2-week sleep diary can help you understand how your routines affect your sleep. The term sleep hygiene refers to a series of healthy sleep habits that can improve your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. These habits are a cornerstone of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is one of the courses that I'm currently doing. It's the most effective long-term treatment for people with chronic insomnia. Behavioral therapy can help you address the thoughts and behaviors that prevent you from sleeping well. It also includes techniques for stress reduction, relaxation, and sleep schedule management. How well you sleep and your daily routines and energy levels are inversely related. A good night's sleep will allow you to wake up feeling refreshed and lively. Minimizing negative habits and choices that affect your health and well-being, like nicotine, excess amounts of caffeine prior to bed, poor dietary choices, lack of daily movement, etc., will also have an impact on your ability to get a good night's rest. They both affect each other. There are simple yet important steps you can take to improve your sleep habits. Number 1, make time for sleep. Very often, sleep is the first thing busy people compromise, so simply making time to sleep will help protect our health and well-being. To achieve this, you can create and commit to a schedule. The best time to go to bed is before 10 o'clock so that you can allow your body to relax and down-regulate the body's systems to allow for stress reduction, reparation, and recovery. It is also ideal to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, whether it is a weeknight or a weekend. This can help regulate your body's clock and help you fall and stay asleep during the night. And again, this comes back to circadian rhythm. All right, when our body's used to doing something, then it changes our hormone profile at different times of the day or night. I'll discuss this in a little bit more detail in a future episode. All right, sleep habit 2. Watch when and what you eat. What you eat and how late you eat can also affect how you sleep. There will be some exceptions, of course, but it is best to eat a light dinner and avoid a large meal within a couple of hours of bedtime. You should also limit your intake of fluid right before bed in order to prevent waking up for trips to the bathroom. Number 3, avoid substances such as nicotine, caffeine, or alcohol, which can interfere with sleep. Both nicotine and caffeine are stimulants, and alcohol initially causes drowsiness, but ultimately can disrupt sleep, leaving you feeling tired the following day. Number 4, take a walk after your evening meal or practice light, restorative yoga or stretches or some other form of movement. Moving your body can promote better sleep, helping you fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper rest. However, it's best not to exercise too close to bedtime, otherwise you might feel too energized to fall asleep, which again is going to interrupt your circadian rhythm and it's going to change your hormone profiles. Now, when the sun goes down, our hormone profile should be changing. Our body should be releasing melatonin, which is it's essentially stored up throughout the day, and that's going to kick off our sleep process. It's going to make us drowsy. It's going to make us want to rest and recover. And simply exercising or taking caffeine, nicotine, shit like that before bed, that's going to affect that. And also blue light affects this as well, okay, which is going to affect your ability to produce that melatonin or release that melatonin and cause that cascade of effects to occur. Okay, number 5, establish a ritual that signals to the body that it's time to unwind. You can create quiet time before bed, one that does not include television, computers, or social media, as again, a lot of research suggests that blue light of television, smartphones, tablets before bedtime can interfere with sleep. In fact, one study I read states that for every hour of blue light before bed reduces REM sleep by 30 minutes. During this quiet time, performing light stretches, taking a relaxing shower or bath, reading a book, listening to music, soothing music, or drinking herbal tea can all help your body and mind relax. Okay, every night for me, I stop using technology at 9 o'clock. I leave my phone in the lounge room to charge overnight, which removes the distraction of social media. I have an alarm clock next to my bed, or I simply use my watch that allows me to not have to rely on my phone, which is a great habit to kick off my morning routine also, because now I'm not looking at my phone until I've gone through my morning routine. So that's a really good point, is I really protect my sleep. The last hour before I go to bed and the first hour before I get up really sets the scene for how I'm going to sleep and how my day is going to go. Okay, number 6, create a comfortable sleeping environment. Keeping the bedroom attractive and tidy, quiet and cool is conducive to relaxation and restful sleep. Keep your bedroom free of clutter, remove distractions, and dampen lights, etc. to promote a relaxing, stress-free environment. Try not to work in your room either. Where you sleep should just be for sleeping and maybe a little bit of fun time. All right, number 7. Once in bed, perform a relaxing body scan, inviting each part of the body to release any tension you may be holding from the day. You can also practice a bedtime sleep-inducing meditation or soothing music to quiet the mind. Number 8, avoid daytime naps unless necessary. Although you may feel tired during the day when you have not had a good night's rest the evening before, it's important that you avoid daytime naps, particularly those in the afternoon. Okay, stay awake when it's light, go to sleep when it's dark. Otherwise, you're going to start messing around with your circadian rhythm. Next up, let's discuss libido. If your sex drive has taken a hit and is below your typical baseline, it could be pointing to a few things that are not quite in check. Improving your libido is a complex game. Nutritional deficiencies, poor stress management, lack of sleep, and low mood can all contribute to a low sex drive, as can the declining hormone profile that most people encounter with age and lack of daily movement. Getting your mojo back is not as simple as having a few superfoods to help you on your way, but it can help. The secret is often to think about the body as a whole. It is a system of systems. You need to be simultaneously supporting hormone production, blood flow, stress levels, and brain health, which will almost certainly affect your mood. It's also important to note that deeper underlying medical conditions can play a role in a low sex drive. As ever with matters of the body, it's always best to consult with your doctor in case of concern. There are, however, a few tips that you can try. 1. Zinc-rich foods. Aphrodisiac foods such as oysters and fruits representing fertility symbols may have a poetic ring to them, but do they actually have an effect on your libido? The answer is, possibly. Oysters are rich in zinc, which helps the body to produce hormones such as testosterone, a key component in getting and keeping you in the mood. However, the great problem with oysters is that they're not exactly an everyday staple. You need a good local supply and a fair amount of disposable income if you're going to dine out on oysters every night. The good news is that zinc can also be found in many other foods such as beef, lamb, spinach, nuts, and seeds. Zinc also helps to increase sperm production, so it's an important mineral for fertility also. Number 2, foods for healthy blood flow. A healthy blood flow can do wonders for your libido by increasing circulation to your sexual organs. Foods that increase circulation include garlic, chili peppers, and ginger. They contain allicin, which dilates blood vessels and thins the blood. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish also help to thin the blood and increase elasticity of blood vessels, allowing for easier blood flow. So, baked salmon with a spicy chili garlic sauce makes for the perfect recipe to get your blood flowing. Number 3, brain foods to put you in the mood. Having a high libido is not just about optimizing your body's physical performance, but is also very closely related to brain health. Put simply, it's hard to get your libido up when you're stressed out about unsexy things. Your brain is a very complex network of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters, which can influence whether you feel sad, happy, motivated, etc. Neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine can give you feelings of well-being by heightening your mood and require good quality protein to operate. Omega-3 fatty acids can also help here. Keep up or increase intake of foods such as meat, fish, eggs, cheese, yogurt, nuts, and seeds. If you feel that you do not get enough protein in your diet, consider adding whey protein to homemade smoothies. Number 4, don't stress out your body. Stress is not just something that happens in the mind, but it's a physical reaction to your surroundings. When you're stressed, you release hormones such as cortisol, which can reduce your libido. This reaction to stress is our body's protective mechanism to prevent reproduction in times of danger. In modern times, we simply have too much stress on a constant basis, which makes the constant release of cortisol very hard to overcome. It may be hard to completely change your lifestyle to reduce stress, but the first step you can make is to reduce foods that increase the production of stress hormones. Refined carbohydrates such as white bread and sugar are the biggest culprits, causing a roller coaster of hormones which loads your body with stress and massively spikes blood sugar levels, which in turn can reduce both libido and fertility. Choose slower releasing carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates such as whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. Number 5, dark chocolate. The way women obsess over chocolate could have some logical cause. Cocoa contains a host of beneficial compounds such as antioxidants called flavonoids, a high iron content, and much, much more. Most importantly, it contains phenylethylamine, which gives a stimulating effect and releases the neurotransmitters dopamine and serotonin in the brain. Unfortunately, the chocolate you buy from the supermarkets is filled with sugar, so its health benefits are minimal. Instead, you want the very dark stuff. 80% cocoa is a good mark to aim for. Once you get used to eating this, because it's often quite bitter, try adding 100% cocoa powder to your favorite smoothie mix. Number 6, exercise, particularly resistance training. Resistance training can have a large influence on hormone levels. The key is to perform big compound movements with heavy weights in a relatively low rep range. This is the perfect environment for stimulating your natural testosterone and production of growth hormone. Try to find the balance between deliberate overload and overtraining. The former will have you making great strides in your workouts with optimal hormone levels, and the latter could leave your libido on the floor due to a lack of recovery. Stick to tried and tested compound movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows. Next up, we're going through mood, attitude, and mental well-being. Just as physical fitness helps our bodies to stay strong, mental fitness helps us to achieve and sustain a state of good mental health. When we are mentally healthy, we enjoy our life and environment and the people in it. We can be creative, learn, try new things, and take risks. We're better able to cope with difficult times in our personal and professional lives. We feel the sadness and anger that come with the death of a loved one, a job loss, or relationship problems and other difficult events, but in time we're able to get on with and enjoy our lives once again. Nurturing our mental health can also help us combat or prevent mental health problems that are sometimes associated with a chronic physical illness. In some cases, it can prevent the onset or relapse of a physical or mental illness. Managing stress well, for instance, can have a positive impact on heart disease. chances are you are already taking steps to sustain your mental health as well as your physical health. You might just not realize it. 3 important ways to improve your mental fitness are to get physical, eat right, and take control of stress. Now, I'm going to dive into each one of these components in a lot more detail in a future episode, but basically when I go through a consultation with my clients, I'm looking at lifestyle factors, I'm looking at nutrition and hydration, and I'm looking at movement, okay? When people get stressed out, when people are under the pump, sleep, training, and nutrition are the first things to go. And in my opinion, those are the things that have a massive impact on everything else in our life. So if we're getting stressed out and where our sleep is taking a hit, our movement is taking a hit, and our nutrition is taking a hit, then it's a nasty cycle to get caught in, and it's very difficult to get out of that position. So whenever you can, try and really protect your sleep, your nutrition, and your daily movement practice. But the biggest thing that I want to say on mental health and well-being is control what is within your control. When we feel like we're out of control, this is where, anxiety and stress and all these other types of things come in. So focus on what's within your control and forget about the things that are outside of your control. In the book written by Mark Manson called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, he discusses this topic, and basically we live in this world where people are concerned about everything that's going on around them that's outside of their control. People gossiping, people talking shit, all of these other factors that pretty much play no part in your life. His recommendation in the book is which is pretty much how I live my life, is choose what you give a fuck about. All right, you can only give so many fucks, so choose what you give a fuck about and then focus on those things that you can control. All right, we're starting to get towards the last couple of documents that, funnily enough, I wrote up probably 6 to 7 years ago that I had to read through before I started going through this, and it's all still up to date, so good to go. All right, what your skin, hair, and nails say about your health. Okay, we can get some powerful clues about our health from our appearance. Skin conditions such as acne, eczema, and rashes can reveal deficiencies or even offer clues about how well your digestive tract and detox systems are functioning. Thinning hair and weak nails can tell you if you have mineral deficiencies or even certain health conditions like hypothyroidism. So take a look in the mirror and interpret what your body is telling you about your health. Skin. Did you know that the health of your skin mirrors the health of your gut? They're both permeable barriers designed to keep the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. Epidemiological evidence shows a clear association between gut problems and skin disorders. People with SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and dysbiosis are up to 10 times more likely to struggle with acne and or rosacea. Inflammation in the gut due to leaky gut or overconsuming sugar, alcohol, and foods to which you are sensitive also contributes to inflammatory skin conditions. For example, sufferers of eczema, which is an autoimmune condition, may see improvement when they remove common food allergens such as eggs, gluten, and dairy, along with foods high in irritating anti-nutrients such as nightshades and nuts. Eggs, dairy, grains, soy, legumes, nuts, and nightshades are recommended foods for removal on the autoimmune protocol. Taking probiotics and normalizing gut flora is also necessary. Again, I'll discuss microbiome in a future episode. Okay, kicking foods to which you have any type of reaction can help inflammatory skin conditions overall. Those who struggle with acne often see huge improvements when they remove dairy, which contains androgenic hormones that may worsen acne and inflammatory skin conditions. I recommend those struggling with skin rashes, acne, eczema, and psoriasis follow an autoimmune protocol elimination diet for at least a month to determine food sensitivities. Again, I'll discuss an elimination diet in future episodes. Avoiding allergenic foods will help heal both the digestive tract and enhance skin health. Healing leaky gut will help you better absorb all the nutrients, protein, and fatty acids in your food necessary for a clear complexion. Supplementing with zinc and vitamins A and C can help acne also. Finally, a congested liver can contribute to acne and rashes. Your liver is in charge of neutralizing toxins in everything you eat, drink, and breathe, not to mention metabolizing hormones and cholesterol and a host of other tasks. Poor diet, over-the-counter drugs, alcohol, sugar, coffee, and body care products loaded with endocrine-disrupting chemicals increase the liver's toxic burden. The body stores excess circulating toxins in fat tissue that can affect hormone levels and skin health. A whole foods-based detox program is a great jumpstart for obtaining clear skin. Alright, I won't go into that in too much detail because I literally spend an entire episode in an upcoming mini-series on the nutritional pyramid of importance where we dive into micronutrients and potential nutrient deficiencies. Alright, hair. Lack of protein in the diet, common in vegetarians and vegans, zinc deficiency, and low minerals can contribute to thinning hair. Malabsorption issues due to leaky gut can be a factor. Stress, pregnancy, and extreme weight loss can also be causes. Hair loss is a skin condition. It can be mild, where subtle thinning occurs, or a more serious disease, which involves total loss of scalp and body hair called alopecia. The most common causes of hair loss are pregnancy, which stops 1 to 4 months after the birth of the baby, stress, and poor nutrition. With most of these, hair loss is temporary and can be helped. If nutrient levels are low, it will be expressed through the hair. Hair follicles rooted in the scalp need to be surrounded by a rich supply of blood to ensure they are sufficiently nourished. Hair loss represents low mineral status, specifically lack of zinc, selenium, calcium, sodium, and potassium. It can also signify iron deficiency. Even if you are not anemic, which is a reduction in the concentration of hemoglobin or oxygen-carrying constituent of the red blood cells, you may still have low iron stores, which can affect hair loss. Meat provides the best source of iron. Try to eat lean red meats or liver at least once a week. An alternative is an iron supplement available from most chemists or pharmacies. A gynecological problem known as polycystic ovary syndrome is another reason for hair loss. Women with PCOS have an excess of androgens, which are male hormones, and the ovaries tend to be larger than average, and the ovaries' outer surface have an abnormally large number of small follicles that grow around the ovaries. Drugs to reduce the amount of androgens are usually prescribed. There is also new evidence to suggest that using medications that lower insulin levels in the blood may be effective in restoring menstruation and reducing some of the health risks associated with PCOS. Fingernails. Brittle, thin nails can be caused by hypothyroidism. When your thyroid is underfunctioning, the body slows down and conserves energy for the most important metabolic functions, so the health of your skin, hair, and nails is the first to suffer. Using biotin may help both nail and hair growth. You can also take a hair, skin, nails complex that will include essential micronutrients and enzymes to encourage healthy hair, skin, and nails. Other conditions such as ridges in nails, horizontal depressions, or spoon nails can signify deficiencies or even certain diseases. Get your doctor to run a complete blood panel to check hormone levels and determine if you have any nutrient deficiencies. You can also try an elimination diet and exclude reactive foods from your diet. Consider supplementing with a fatty acid, a hair, skin, nails complex, or a supplement that offers necessary nutrients for healthy skin. You can also take a probiotic for a healthy gut. Above all, make sure you're getting adequate protein, plenty of antioxidant-rich foods, and veggies and healthy fats. To round out this episode, the body is a system of systems, and all of these systems affect each other. We have 11 of these systems. All right, I'm not going to go through all of them now, but the digestive system, I mean, they're all important, but the digestive system is super important. In recent years, they've actually linked the gut to the brain. And more importantly, 80% of our immune system lies in the gut. So if you've got problems with your digestive system, then that is going to affect your ability to break down foods and supply raw materials to all of the other systems of the body. So gut health is especially important. But again, I'll dive into this in a lot more detail in a future episode.
If you enjoy the content that I'm bringing to you guys, please help me spread the message and like, save, share, and subscribe, and pass this off to your friends, your family, anyone that's relevant in your life that it could potentially help. And please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review. Much love, guys. Peace.